Traders, welcome in. Merry Christmas Eve. This is a really exciting video. The market, nice day in the market for us. There's a lot going on, and I have a little bit of a recap I'm going to recap today. I'm going to do a little bit of a learning lesson thing, and then I'm going to go over the top stocks for the following days. Okay, so let's get into it. So I'm going to start things off by talking about RCAT. So RCAT had a really interesting setup, right? I really like this setup. I spoke about it in yesterday's video, I believe. And then today, I took it in the morning. I'll show you guys the setup right here. Let me just pull it up. Okay, so this is the 5-minute for RCAT. So I entered right here at about 12:40, and over the next 15 minutes, it made a huge move. I was up, I want to say 12-15% from my entry at the highs here. So I took 15% of the position off, just a quick little trim, and then I was monitoring it on the 1 minute. So we'll look at that right now. So this is kind of where the lesson is, right? I saw that it was getting weak. I did another trim, and then it just pretty much died out, right? So, and I cut the entire position here. So I was left slightly green because I made the 2 trims and then I cut for a small loss in the rest of the position. But this is the main lesson I want to talk to you guys about. If you're entering a stock, or at any time really, but specifically in this case in the morning when there's a lot more volatility, especially on these high ADR names, you guys need to cut losers quickly, okay? Because let's say I held on to RCAT. It would have gotten really bad. I could have lost a lot of money holding on to this, right? Which obviously is counterintuitive. We want to cut the losers quickly. So by cutting RCAT for a break even, right? Or even if it was a small loss, break even, slightly green, right? Cutting it for a quick loss is very valuable. Because if it continued to push higher, right? And RCAT made a beautiful move to 18 or something. Obviously it's a massive gain for my portfolio. However, in the event that the stock kept continuing to dive, I avoided all of that. So this plays into the most important aspect of swing trading or momentum trading for us, which is small losers, big winners, right? So, RCAT, pretty much a prime example of that. And of course, there's emotional component to it as well. I would have loved for this thing to have continued running. So it was unfortunate when I was up 15%. 5 minutes later, 6 minutes later, I'm cutting this for basically a loss on the remainder of my position. Yeah, there's an emotional element to it, but you have to mature and understand as a trader, this stuff happens, especially in the high ADR names. Cut the loss. And then if it sets up again, you have the opportunity to get in again. So anyway, let's talk about that. Because I'm looking at RCAT here and I see that there is definitely another entry potential. If I go to the 5-minute, you can see this on the hourly as well. But this is really nice. This little structure here it's developing is nice. So I was about to enter it at the end of the day. It didn't get enough volume. This is something that I will definitely consider entering tomorrow morning, which is a break of this structure right here. So basically a break over, this is the specific level I'd be looking at, break over about 1120 with some strong volume. That could be a really nice trade. Good RR trade. So RCAT didn't work out the first time, whatever, break even, but a quick loss is a good loss. It's part of the system. And then look, it's still valid. I'll look to re-enter. That's how we operate, right? So let's look at a few other names. UMAC is nice. I entered UMAC on Friday. It's something I mentioned in the videos a few times. Really great trade. Up 23% today. I'm up about maybe 32% on the overall trade, maybe a little more than that even. Really, really nice. One of the winners today, my MVST, something I spoke about in other videos. I've been riding this one. My original entry was at 66, so beautiful trade. I'm still in. I added some more here. So anyway, really nice trade overall. I trimmed a little tiny bit earlier today, but I'm still holding it. It was a smaller position than usual at this point, so a little unfortunate that I didn't have a bigger size, but it is what it is. I mean, still a good trade, good setup, and for you guys, it's a good example of what trading a smaller share price stock would be. This, I think the market cap's about 600 million, so it's not necessarily like a small cap stock or anything, but obviously it's under $2 a share, so it is small with respect to the share price, but really big ADR. This thing has tons of momentum, and you can see it playing out here. Okay, so let's get into AISP. This is another one that was in the videos, I think. Pretty sure I included this in the videos. If not, it was on my X, which, guys, go to the description. You'll see the Discord. It's free, guys. Go join in the community. And then on the X, the link to the X where I post a bunch of setups is also there. So go check that out. Okay, so AISP. Really, really nice move today. I wish I got in this. I had it in the morning. I was watching it. Go to the 5-minute time frame. I kind of just took my eye off of it. I went to the gym and I didn't. I would have taken this. I should have taken this. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But realistically, this is really nice here. It got some nice volume and really made it a great move after that. So I should have at least set an alert. I forgot to set one. So my mistake there. But overall, good setup, good move, strong. If you zoom out, you can definitely see where the potential lies. So overall, really nice name. Okay, let's get into a few other names for tomorrow. I mean, I have a bunch of names on this list. So DXYZ is certainly one of them. 13% today. It was on. I spoke about it yesterday, but I was really looking for a pop out of the wedge, right? If you go to yesterday's video, I was talking about this. Pop out of the wedge, and then I'm looking for like kind of a launch pad setup. So let's go to the hourly here. All right, so it gets a pop out of the downtrend, and then I kind of just want to see it set up now. A little bit of consolidation. Give us that setup. That would be a beautiful trade, right? I love when you break out of these downtrends and then you get what I call a launch pad, and you get some, maybe a little flag or some tightness here, some consolidation, and that will lead to the next leg higher, which could be very, very explosive, maybe new highs. So yeah, really nice. DXYZ is obviously one of these stocks that just has tons of momentum and could make some really, really big moves. So I like it. Okay, next up is Lunar. Lunar's in a similar boat to DXYZ. Obviously, it hasn't, the move recently hasn't been as large. It's been more range bound, but overall, I think it's really nice. In the morning, like similar to RCAT, had a huge move in the morning and a lot of people got shaken out. But if we look at it on the hourly, I'm watching this level right here, these highs, which would be a really nice breakout level, about 1464. This is a great breakout level, maybe even a little tighter, maybe 14, wait, sorry. Oh yeah, maybe 1470 would be the ideal level, my bad. Yeah, 1470 would be an ideal breakout level for Lunar. I really like it. So if it can break that level with some nice volume, has a lot of potential, right? So another one like RCAT fakes some people out in the morning on this candle, on this wick right here, but really, really nice stuff overall. We go to the daily. Right, you can see it's popping out of its little wedge, if you will. So, looks really good. OKLO. So, actually, OKLO is still looking really nice. I actually cut it for a small loss this morning, and that's okay. It was down 7% earlier this morning. So, as you can see here, it opened up, and it just completely faded. So, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hold that. I'm just going to cut it for a small loss. I wasn't loving the way it was moving. Overall, the setup looks decent, right? It's something that I've spoken about. Looks really good, actually, and it's continuing to develop. Now that after today's close, it looks good. If we go to the hourly here, we can break it down with a little bit more detail. And you could see this is the structure. This is the structure I've been looking at for a while, right? So it's kind of building a little bit of a launch pad, trying to break out of this downtrend. And you could just see this shook me out, right? So I cut it for like when it was down 3% this morning. So I probably cut it for about 20.89 maybe. And then, it proceeded to drop more. So I'm looking at it here. I have an alert set right here for 22.70. That's kind of the level I'd be looking at. If you get some strong volume and breaks over that, I have no problem re-entering, right? That's what it's about, guys. Cutting the losses quickly. If the momentum's not there, just wait it out, right? I'd rather be risk off and just re-enter when the actual momentum comes in for most stocks, especially OKLO. This is one of those names that I'd rather just re-enter if it breaks through the level again with some strong volume than just wait it out and risk losing more. So quick losses, guys. There's good upside on this, but quick losses, cut them quickly, and just, wait for a re-entry. That would be the best ideal plan for OKLO, and I think it looks really good though. So definitely still on the watch list. AVGO was an entry today. If we go to the daily chart, you can see what I'm looking at. So had earnings, looking for a little bit of a delayed earnings reaction because earnings were really strong, right? It gapped up, but after the gap, after the second day, after the gap, it really didn't do anything. It just faded back down, getting pretty close to the original gap area. So, and obviously you could see, I mean, AVGO is a semi-name. It's been extremely strong. And I'm thinking, okay, well, we can get the next NVIDIA type move out of this. Like, this could go way higher than where it currently sits, right? This is how a lot of big rallies and mega cap names begin, where you have a nice gap up, delayed reaction. So right here, we're popping out of this little downtrend it created with some, the volume could have been better, so that was kind of holding me back for a larger position, but overall, it looks good. And I'm looking just, for it to continue moving higher here. I took an entry. The risk isn't very large or anything. So overall, though, AVGO looks good, has a lot of potential, so I like it. ARQQ. One of the top names going into today. I was just, it never gave me an entry area. It just was kind of sitting around. It recovered a little bit towards the end of the day, but really just not doing much. Didn't break through this key level really at any point of the day. Earlier in the morning, I was about to take it within the first 5 minutes, but the volume just wasn't there at all. So I was like, okay, let me sit it out. And that was the right move. I might even consider adding this a little bit in the after hours session. It looks really good. It held up strong today. So maybe I take a little bit of a risk like that and hope for a gap up tomorrow morning. That's obviously not the safer option, but I might take a small position and do that. However, it looks really good for the next few days. I love this setup. Looks strong. The key level is marked out. It's clear. If it has some strong volume tomorrow, it can actually break out maybe over today's highs. That's a great entry zone. I really like this quantum name. It's made a huge move, has a huge ADR, tons of momentum. These are the types of stocks that make a lot of money for traders, right? Even in the move, it's already made a massive move, can always go higher, right? This isn't necessarily a climax looking chart. Even though it's already up a huge amount, this does not look like, a climax at all for the stock. So once you have this consolidation, typically a climax is going to be in a really, really high peak. It was looking like this could have been the climax area, but it's shown some relative strength. It's come back. It's retesting this key level. So it looks really good. I like it a lot. Okay, INOD, I'm just going to quickly review this one. Nothing has really changed since yesterday, but it's really good. So I talked about it in yesterday's video. I just wanted to kind of reiterate it. Looks good. Another day of consolidation, flat on the day. So this is the type of stuff I like to see. Looks really good. And I will be waiting for the breakout. This is going to provide a pretty good risk-reward opportunity. So I like it a lot. OPTT, guys, this is a micro cap, so be careful when you're trading micro caps. But the setup is so good. I love this setup a lot. Has a lot of potential here, guys. So obviously made a massive move, and now it's kind of fizzled out, but it's creating some lower highs, higher lows. It's really tightening up. And I'm just waiting for the breakout. I want to see. So remember, guys, this is a micro cap. I think the market cap is somewhere around 40 million, right? So very, very small cap stock. Therefore, you have to enter with more caution. So just be very cautious of your decisions. If you're a newer trader, stay away from names like these. This is more for someone that's experienced, but nonetheless, it is a really good setup. So it is definitely one of those top watches because it enables us to have a very tight stop loss, right? If I put my stop loss even at the bottom of this range, it's basically a 1 cent stop loss with upside, and the upside is massive. I mean, upside could be 70 cents. It could be even higher than that. So, right, we have a very tight stop loss, and we have huge upside. So that is the most important thing we look for. And obviously this stock is very explosive. So has all those elements. I really like it. Okay, Square. So Square isn't like an ideal setup or anything, but I'm just looking at this on the weekly. This, was one of my favorite setups. And on the weekly, it's kind of just retesting the support levels. So the weekly looks really good. This is just a name that's going to require a little bit more patience, but I'm just, focusing on a break of the downtrend. Maybe even try to time a little bit of a bottom. If this thing double bottoms in the short term, I might even take a small entry. Not textbook or anything, but looks really good. On the weekly, it's a phenomenal chart. So even the monthly as well. So really, really nice. And I just want to throw it out there. I'm still watching it, and it's something that I still want to trade. I pretty much cut majority of my position on this. I think I have a small position left, but I definitely want to re-enter once it starts getting momentum, because I think the upside here is really, really strong into 2025. Okay, Zoom. This is another one with just a beautiful weekly here. But if we zoom in, this is another one of those names that's I'm just letting you know, okay, I'm still watching this, right? It has a great setup. You can see it's continued to tighten up. Volume is low. This thing can break over that 86, 84 level with some strong volume. It can be a great, great trade. So this is really nice, guys. You have strong momentum leading into consolidation, tight consolidation, get the breakout of the key level, and with some strong volume, and the momentum may resume, which is what we're hoping for if we're in a trade to the upside. Okay. GME, slightly higher today. So GME, slightly higher today, up 4% at the resistance level. Guys, this is textbook stuff. GME is a type of name that can be highly explosive. I don't know what catalyst it has. Don't know what's going to propel it higher, but you never know when that steps in. If it provides, if it gets a breakout, the risk reward is going to be really good given today's close. So I would probably take an entry on this. May not be a very large position, but I'm willing to take a risk given how good the setup is. The stock does have good momentum. I don't know what's going to really fuel the next leg, because with a stock like this, we're hoping for that big, big move. I don't know what's going to fuel it, but things come out of the blue sometimes, and we'll see what happens. ZK. So China stocks have been doing good between TIGR. Well, TIGR has another. Let me just go over to you. TIGR really quick. Good setup here. I just want to throw it out there. This is a good setup. Obviously, good flag. It's something that I'm watching. It wasn't on my list. I mean, it is on my watch list. I wasn't going to cover this in the video because I already did, but looks great. Right. Another China name. ZK. So ZK is the China EV. We've been talking about this for a while. Realistically, I should have just entered today, but the volume wasn't really great, so I kind of held back from entering. I'll wait for a little bit of a retest. I'm hoping for a retest, maybe a little higher than a retest, which will then provide me a really nice entry. If I don't get it and it continues running, I don't know if I'm going to enter this thing. I don't really want to miss it because it's a great setup, so I'll see. I kind of haven't made my decision yet. I would have entered if it had strong volume. I just didn't love it enough today, and I kind of saw it a little late, so, held back, and that's fine, but I'll be looking to continue trading it, so it's still on the watch list, of course. So anyway, that is going to conclude the stocks for today. I hope you guys learned a little something. I hope you guys have some great setups that you're able to also add to your watch list. Just want to mention Discord, link in bio. Join the community, guys. It's awesome. I hope to see you there. X, also, the bio is right. Link in description, not bio. Link in description. The X is there. I post tons of setups. So anyway, guys, enjoy. Happy holidays, and have a great rest of your day.